Okay, this is a review of Chapter 7, and we're going to start off by reviewing 7.2, so hit 7.2. It's coming up. And we're going to start by looking at problems 27 through 36. So scroll down to 27 to 36. Number 27. This is going to be 4 times 5 times x squared. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of x squared is x. That's number 27. So you're looking for the biggest square that goes into 20. For number 28, the biggest square that goes into 72 is, whoops, that's not 9. Let's try again. Is 36 times 2. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of x to the fourth is x squared. And there you're left with the square root of 2. The biggest square that go in number 29, the biggest square that goes into 75 is 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. The square root of y to the 6 is y cubed. There's the answer to number 29. Number 30, you're looking for the biggest cube that goes into 24. The cube, so that's going to be 8 times 3 times x to the 6. The cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of x to the 6 is x squared. Remember, 3 goes into 6 2 times. That's why it's x squared. Okay, number 31. The biggest cube that goes into 24 is 8. And x to the 6, x squared. Okay. So the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of x to the 6 is x squared. And that's going to leave the cube root of 3x squared. 32 is exactly the same thing as 31. So I'll start it, and then you can look at 31. This is going to be broken up in 8 times 3 times x to the 6 times x squared. Cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of x to the 6 is x squared. And you're left with the cube root of 3x squared. So it's the same as 31. 33. This is going to be the cube root of 8 times 5. The biggest cube that goes into 40 is 8. And the biggest cube in the q to the 5th is q cubed times q squared. So the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of q cubed is q times the cube root of 5q squared. Number 34. Cube root of 27 times 2 times w to the 6 times w. The cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of w to the 6 is w squared. And you're left with the cube root of 2w. Number 35. Well, let's circle that. Number 35. The biggest fourth that goes into 48 is 16. And w to the fourth, that's going to go evenly. Z to the 6 needs to be broken up into z to the fourth times z squared. The fourth root of 16 is 2. Fourth root of w to the fourth is w. The fourth root of z to the fourth is z. So that'll leave the fourth root of 3z squared. 36. Break up 80 into 16 times 5. Y to the 8th will be okay. We've got to break up z to the 10th into z to the 8th times z squared. Fourth root of 16 is 2. Fourth root of y to the 8th is y squared. And fourth root of z to the 8th is z squared. That'll leave the fourth root of 5z squared. And let's see, now let's jump to number 45. Okay, this is going to be the square root of 180 y squared. The biggest square that goes in 180 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6, and the square root of y squared is y, and that'll leave the square root of 5. 46. This is going to be the cube root of, let's see, 36 times 3 is 108. And we'll have x squared, y squared. Let's see, the cube root of 108. The biggest cube that goes into 108. Let's see, I think it's 27. Times 4 is 108. Okay, so 27 times 4 times x squared times y squared. So cube root of 27 is 3, and that'll leave the cube root of 4x squared y squared. Number 47. Is the square root of 140, let's see, 7 times 21 is 147, AB. And the biggest square that goes into 147 is 49. Let's see, 49 times 3 is 147. Square root of 49 is 7, so we'd have the square root of 3ab left. Number 48. This would be the cube root of 72y cubed x squared. The biggest cube that goes into 72 is 8. Cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of y cubed is y. And so we'll have the cube root of 9x squared left. All right, so much for 7.2. Let's go back to haiku. And now let's go to 7.3. Whoops, already did 7.2. Let's see, 7.3. And scroll down to number 26. To do these, you gotta simplify each of them. So we're gonna have square root of 8. It's gonna be 4 times 2. So let's see, that's gonna be 6 times 2 square roots of 2. So 12 square roots of 2 plus 11 square roots of 2 is gonna be 23 square roots of 2. 27. That's going to be, let's see, 27 you can break up into 9 times 3. So this is going to be 3 square roots of 3. So 24 square roots of 3 minus 3 square roots of 3 is 21 square roots of 3. 28. This will be 8 times the square root of 9 times 5 plus 7 times the square root of 4 times 5. So 8 times 3 square roots of 5 plus 7 times 2 square roots of 5, which will be 24 square roots of 5 plus 14 square roots of 5, which is 38 square roots of 5. 29 is going to be 5 times the square root of 4 times 3, which would be 5 times 2 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 3. So 10 square roots of 3 plus 2 square roots of 3 is 12 square roots of 3. 30. It's going to be 3 times 4 square root of 4 times 2 minus 5 square roots of 2. It's going to be 3 times 2 square roots of 2 minus 5 square roots of 2. So 6 square roots of 2 minus 5 square roots of 2 is 1 square root of 2, which is square root of 2. 31 is already simplified. 32, we're going to have 18 times 36 times 2 plus 2 times 49 times 2, which would be 18 times 6 square roots of 2 plus 2 times 7 square roots of 2, which is 108 square roots of 2 plus 14 square roots of 2, which is 122 square roots of 2. 33 is going to be 3 times the cube root of 8 times 2 plus the cube root of 27 times 2, which is 3 times 2 cube roots of 2 plus 3 cube roots of 2, which is 6 cube roots of 2 plus 3 cube roots of 2, which is 9 cube roots of 2. 34. This one would be 5 times cube root of 8 times 4 minus, because you want the biggest cube that goes into 32, minus 2 times the cube root of, let's see, 27 times 4. Let's see. Oops. I boo-booed over here. I said 27 times 4 and wrote 24. Let's see, 27 times 4. Okay, the cube, so 5 times 2 cube roots of 4 minus 2 times 3 cube roots of 4, which would be 10 cube roots of 4 minus 6 cube roots of 4, which is 4 cube roots of 4. Number 35 would be 2 times the cube root of, let's see, well, 125 is a nice cube. We've got to break up a to the 4th into a cubed times a. And then we'd have, okay, this is ready to go. All right. So this is going to be 2 times 5a times the cube root of a minus 5 times 2 cube roots of a. So 10a cube roots of a minus 10 cube roots of a. And we could factor out a 10 cube roots of a. And that would leave us with a minus 1. Okay, let's go back to 6 through 9 in this handout. Okay, this is square root of x squared is x, square root of 100 is 10. Number 7, we need to rewrite. So that would be 2a square roots of a over b squared. Number 8, that would be 5y square roots of y over x squared. Number 9 would be see, you want the biggest cube there. Oops, the bottom. I have an X in there, it doesn't belong. Okay, so this will be 2x times the cube root of x squared over 3y. Okay, now let's go back to haiku. And let's take a look at 7-4. And let's go to number 16. Rationalize the denominator. Well, this is where you multiply top and bottom by 2 and get the square root of 2 over 2. Because this is going to be the square root of 2 fourths. This one you multiply top and bottom by 3. So you're going to get the square root of 6/9, which is the square root of 6 over 3. This one, multiply top and bottom by 6, so you're going to get the square root of 66 over 6. And this one, top and bottom by 3, so you're going to get the square root of 66 over 3. This one, top and bottom by 7, so the square root is 70 over 7. And this one, you're going to multiply top and bottom by 4. So you're going to get the cube root of 4 over 2. This one here is cube root of 4 over 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Let's see, we're on 22. Here you multiply top and bottom by 3, so that would be the cube root of 6 over 27, which would be the cube root of 6 over 3. For 23, you'd multiply by top and bottom by 5, so you'd have the cube root of 15 over 125, which is the cube root of 15 over 5. In 24, you'd multiply top and bottom by 25, so you'd have the cube root of 75 over 125, which would be the cube root of 75 over 5. In 25, you multiply top and bottom by 2, so you'd have the cube, or rather the fourth root. Oops, no, I boo-booed there. Multiply top and bottom by 4. So you'd have the fourth root of 12 16, which would be the fourth root of 12 over 2. And in 26, you'd multiply the top and bottom by 8. So you'd have the fourth root of 24 over 16, which is the fourth root of 24 over 2. And in 27, you multiply top and bottom by 2. So you'd have the fourth root of 6 over 16, which is the fourth root of 6 over 2. A few more. (28). Multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. So you get 2 square roots of 6 over 5 square roots of 4. So 2 square roots of 6 over 10, which is the square root of 6 over 5. In 29, you'd multiply top and bottom by 3, and you'd have the cube root of 9 over 27, which is the cube root of 9 over 3. Now with 30, you have to multiply by the conjugate of the bottom, which is 2 minus the square root of 3. And so the top would be 2 minus the square root of 3, and the bottom, you've got the difference of 2 squares, so it would be 2 squared minus the square root of 3 squared. This would be 2 minus the square root of 3 over 4 minus 3, which is 1. The answer is 2 minus the square root of 3. 31, you're going to multiply top and bottom by 1 plus the square root of 2. So you're going to have 5 plus 5 square roots of 2 in the top. In the bottom, you've got the difference of 2 squares. And that's going to be 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. So you're going to have minus 5 square roots of 2. 2 more in this section. Number 32. Multiply the top and the bottom here by the square root of 3 plus 1. Let's see, in the top we'll have the square root of 15 plus the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3 plus 1. And in the bottom we got the difference of two squares. So we're going to have 3 minus 1, which is 2 in the bottom. So the final answer is the square root of 15 plus the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3 plus 1 all over 2. One more. Let's multiply the top and the bottom of 33 by 3 square roots of 3 plus 3. Yeah, let's get rid of the blue stuff here so we got room. Okay, and in the top we got some foiling to do. That's going to be 6 square roots of 9 plus 6 square roots of 3 plus, or rather minus 9 square roots of 3 minus 9. And in the bottom we got the difference of two squares. So we can write it like this. And this is going to be 27 minus 9, which is 18. So we're going to have, let's see, this is going to be 18. So we're going to have 9, rather minus 9 minus 3 square roots of 3 over 18. But we can reduce that, factor of 3 out of the top. And the 3 and the 18 reduce. So I'm going to have 3 minus the square root of 3 all over 6. Okay, that's first part of chapter 7.